All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that, well, it pretty much powers our entire digital world, but we almost never think about it. I'm talking about the absolute necessity of precision in software, and it all kicks off with a really simple but powerful idea. Now, you're looking at a quote from a famous architect, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Obviously, he wasn't thinking about code when he said this, but you know what? It's never been more true. This idea that the tiny little things matter a lot, that's the bedrock for everything we're about to get into. Because when you're building something really complex, a single detail can be the difference between, well, a work of art and a total train wreck. So, in the world of tech today, there's this one huge pressure that kind of shapes everything else. And that is the relentless, nonstop need for speed. And to keep up with this demand, you've got teams all over the world using methods like Scrum and Agile. The core idea? It's pretty simple, really. You operate like a super fast factory. You build new stuff, quick, and you get it to your customers even quicker, as fast as you possibly can. On paper, the workflow looks super straightforward, right? You plan a feature, maybe from a to-do list, you build it as fast as you can, and then you ship it out the door. Lather, rinse, repeat. Just keep pushing for more and more speed to keep up. But, and this is a big but, is that factory analogy actually the right way to look at making software? And yeah, that's exactly where this whole model starts to fall apart. See, when you compare making software to a factory, you're missing the single most important and frankly, most unpredictable part of the whole equation. Think about it. Software isn't built by robots on some assembly line. It's built by people. It's a creative act, it's an intellectual puzzle, it's crafted by developers, real, live human beings who think and feel and solve incredibly tough problems. They aren't just snapping together Lego bricks. They're taking ideas, sometimes really vague ideas from a list, and turning them into something that actually works. And that right there, that's the huge difference. A factory, it's automated, it's predictable, and it spits out thousands of identical things. Software development, it's human, it's creative. Every single piece of code is basically unique. And that one little difference, that's where all the trouble starts. So this problem, it actually has a name. It's called cruft. The best way to think about it is, imagine your room is a mess. When you're rushing, you just toss your clothes on a chair, right? It works in that moment. But over time, that room gets harder and harder to move around in. You can't find anything, you can't clean it. Well, cruft is pretty much the exact same thing, but for code. It's all the messy, complicated stuff that just builds up inside a system. Okay, so what's the big deal? What actually happens when all this cruft just keeps piling up? Well, this is where we start to see the real long-term price of choosing speed over quality. You know, the legendary computer scientist, Fred Brooks, saw this coming decades ago. He made this famous argument that software systems, they just inevitably get so messy, so tangled up with all that cruft, that the only thing you can do is throw the whole thing out and start fresh. And get this, his original estimate was that you'd have to do this big rewrite about every 7 years. But let's be real. In today's world where new tech comes out, weekly? Daily? Doesn't 7 years feel like an eternity? I mean, if we're not cleaning up that mess as we go, are we basically just building software that's designed to fail and fail even faster? There's this old saying that just nails it. A bad penny always shows up. And that is the perfect way to describe messy code. Every single shortcut, every little problem you decide to just ignore for now, it's like that bad penny. You think you've gotten rid of it, but it always comes back. Usually you cause a much bigger headache later on. So whose fault is all this? It's easy to point fingers, but the truth is, it's kind of everyone's. It's a system-wide problem. You've got businesses pushing speed over quality. You have developers who, let's be honest, can get more excited about a cool-looking design than a rock-solid foundation. And even the universities. A lot of the time, they're not really teaching the craft of writing clean, long-lasting code. So how do we fix this mess? Well, we have to go right back to where we started. We have to remember that the devil, And the solution is right there in the details. It's about getting back to a sense of craftsmanship, building things to actually last. Let's go back to that messy room analogy for a second. A messy room just gets worse and worse over time, but a tidy room, or in our case, clean code, that's easy to live in. It's easy to navigate, simple to take care of. It's built for the future. You can add something new or fix a tiny little bug without tearing the whole place apart just to find what you're looking for. And that, right there, is the real goal. The goal isn't just to write code that works today. The true test of great software is writing code that's so clear, so well organized, that some other developer, maybe months, maybe years from now, can look at it and just get it. They can build on it, they can fix it. That's code that endures. Okay, so this all brings us to a massive question about the future. I'm sure you've heard it. With AI getting smarter and smarter, some people think that, the whole job of coding is about to disappear. But is that really true? I mean, that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Can a super powerful AI just listen to our ideas and, poof, build the software for us? Are human programmers going to go the way of the dinosaurs? Well, according to one of the most respected software engineers out there, Robert Martin, you might know him as Uncle Bob, the answer is a surprisingly simple no. And the reason why gets to the very core of what code actually is. Here's the fundamental idea. You can never get rid of the need for absolute precision. Computers, they're not like us. They can't guess what we mean. They can't read between the lines. They need instructions that are perfectly 100% clear and have zero ambiguity. And that is what code is. Code is the language of precision. So even if an AI helps us write the code, we'll still always need that final, super detailed, precise blueprint. So here's something to think about. The next time an app on your phone crashes or some website just glitches out, just for a second, ask yourself, what was the detail that got missed? What tiny little act of imprecision buried somewhere deep in thousands of lines of code made that happen? Because as we've learned today, it always, always comes back to the details.